We're going to talk about Cobra Kai. This is the show that I think finally I was able to get Miracle on board for something that she had watched the previous 3 seasons. I
didn't like them.
But I never got the feeling that she didn't like him. I got the feeling that she was just kind of like meh. But I think I turned her around on this one, and I will say I think season 4 is my favorite of the 4 seasons.
Same.
This was unbelievably good. This season here. So This article is from IndieWire, and it says Cobra Kai review. Season 4 remains one of the best film to TV continuations ever. I would say without hesitation that is 110% true. So it says pulling off a successful film to television adaptation is a tricky business. While TV series like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and MASH are stellar examples of TV adaptations that expanded and even elevated their film origins, there have also been forgettable failures like Dirty Dancing, Ferris Bueller, and in the case of Cobra Kai, which returns for its 4th season on Netflix, we're treated to a series that faithfully honors its roots while managing to tell new and compelling stories through its 2 main protagonists, Johnny Lawrence, played by William Zabka, and Danny LaRusso, played by Ralph Macchio. Cobra Kai is an extension of the 1984 film The Karate Kid, which tells the story of Danny LaRusso, a shy teenager who relocates from New Jersey to Los Angeles and soon becomes the target of a rich golden boy played by Johnny Lawrence. When they both vie for the affections of Allie Mills, played by Elizabeth Shue, after Danny suffers a brutal beatdown from Johnny, who is part of the feared martial arts team Cobra Kai, Danny trains under the kind and wise Mr. Miyagi, portrayed by the late Pat Morita, and ends up defeating Johnny in a climactic showdown at the All Valley Karate Championship. The Karate Kid would spawn several sequels and a remake in 2010 starring Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about the Jaden Smith one, ever. It's off limits.
We're burning it down. We don't talk about it. We don't acknowledge it. Like the same thing with the Avatar movie. The last
so bad.
Airbender one, we burn it to the ground. We don't acknowledge it.
Off the top of your head, what was the first thing that out of everything that you saw, what did you enjoy the most about season 4?
I enjoy everybody like changing their personalities, kind of like Peyton List's character, Tori. Yeah, Tori. I like her story arc. Like basically, like Samantha's mom, like Danny's like wife, basically got her fired from her job, and she tried to make amends, but she was like, dude, you ruined my life.
Yeah, well, she'd already been in juvie, and so finding a job's hard. I would say, actually, I read an article somewhere, and I would agree that I think Eli, Hawk, and Tori have the best story arcs.
Yeah, and then Kreese, when he like was about to change like his whole perspective of life.
So basically, season 4 is them training for the All Valley tournament, and the bet they have is that Johnny and Daniel are going to team up as Eagle Fang, Karate Dojo, and Miyagi-Do, and they're taking on Cobra Kai, which is run by John Kreese, and the loser has to leave the valley, and they can't do karate there in the valley anymore. So Kreese goes out and gets help from his old friend Terry Silver, whose character arc, if you actually look at it without looking in the context of the movie, is absolutely bonkers and makes no sense whatsoever, but it's so freaking good because Thomas Ian Griffith is so freaking good as Terry Silver. He looks kind of, at the beginning when you see him, he looks kind of subdued and almost beta. He's like, his girlfriend's ordering him around, he's around all these rich people because he comes from his dad was rich and he's got lots of money. And like you literally see the evil reincorporate in him throughout the episodes as he becomes more and more like himself from the original from Karate Kid 2. And my favorite line maybe in anything I've ever seen, and I'm paraphrasing here, was when he's trying to apologize for what he did when he's talking to Kreese, when they're having their first discussion, when Kreese is trying to get him to come back to Cobra Kai. He says, I was so hopped up on cocaine and revenge. Dude, that line right there. That is the most 80s line I've ever heard in my entire life, and I love it. I was so hopped up on cocaine and revenge.
You were just obsessing with it. You kept on telling me nonstop, and I'm like, leave me alone. It was
so funny. Bite me. So Kreese, this show has done a very good job. I would say the number one trademark of this show is its ability to turn its characters into shades of gray, meaning that nobody is a clear good guy or bad guy, except for now maybe like Terry Silver is like the only clear-cut bad guy, because even John Kreese goes through a redemption arc of sorts here. You know, you learn in his first appearances in season 2 that he embellished what happened to him after Cobra Kai failed the first time. He's like, I went back overseas and trained special forces. You learn that that's not really what happened there. But even he, by the end of this episode, episode 10, allows Tori to kind of take her own approach to taking down Sam, and shows a lot more heart and character.
Dude, I hate Sam so much.
And yes, so we both agree that maybe I love the actress who plays Sam, Mary Mauser, but that character is one of the most unlikable people. She's just so smug and so snobbish and so just kind of bitchy all the time, and it's really annoying. I mean, but what's weird is like, if she was supposed to be a bad guy, that would make sense, but she's not really supposed to be a bad guy. So I don't really know how to take. I mean, I get it. They're painting these characters in shades of gray, and I would say Daniel is probably the second most annoying because it's always his way or the highway.
Exactly. They call him out so many times.
He has no real appreciation for others, for anyone that does anything differently from him, meaning that he believes everything, that the right way to do everything is his way and his way only. It comes off as very intolerant and kind of annoying, wrapped in this kind of blanket of virtue, which is the most annoying part to me. And that part is just frustrating to me because he's supposed to, or I shouldn't say it's actually good, because if it was less complex, that would be a bad thing. But the characters are complex. Johnny is probably the most, what I view as like the most genuinely good character now. He's dating Miguel. He's dating Miguel's mom, and
I love the part where he's like, "Wear protection. I mean, don't wear it.
Let the girl choose." It's
and his mom's like, "Really?"
Like season 4, and they're still doing these kind of Johnny fish out of water stories that are really funny. Maybe the best segment in the whole season is watching Johnny try to use feminism and woke talking points to get women to get like girls to join the dojo. And he's like, he's like, I learned feminism for this.
Also, he said, "What's Uber?"
Yeah, he had no idea what an Uber was. That was, but there's a really, what I love about it is this show both implements modern day political ideological sensibilities, and both thumbs its nose at it through the perspective of the older generation, but doesn't degrade it from the perspective of the younger generation. So the kids are not portrayed as dumb for believing differently than the older generation, and the older generation isn't perceived as awful for seeing things differently. They're just people from two different periods of time that see the world differently. There's this really funny scene where, and I brought it up to you yesterday when we were watching it, when they get this girl from the debate team to come and join their dojo, and she goes,
and the gymnastic girls too.
Yeah, but she goes, "Hi, my pronouns are she, her," and he goes, the only pronouns in this dojo are sensei and student," and then the girl's like, "Those are nouns."
He's like,
quiet.
He's like, "Oh, really quiet?"
Yeah, it's like, it's really good. Like, it would be, there's so many times where this show walks the line, where it could easily become a weird after-school special talking point of a bunch of the writer's beliefs, and it never does that. It doesn't use buzzwords. In fact, it used the buzzwords as a joke in those segments, right? Like, it pokes fun at the fact that everything has like a label and a buzzword now, but the rest of the dialogue never goes into that.
Yeah, like the character Kenny, I said, like, basically he could report all those kids and say that's a hate crime.
Yep, but they don't.
Him.
They make it about bullying, which is even when they talk about bullying, which can become a buzzword in today's, the idea that everything's bullying, that they never do that. It feels natural to the environment of the show.
Yeah.
So you're not looking at something and feeling like you're being lectured by some Hollywood writer.
Exactly.
You feel like you're living in a situation that's actually going on.
Also, Brett and I made a joke last night. We're like, we're in the wrong cult. We should join the karate cult.
It is weirdly, it's hilarious how in this world, everything revolves around karate. It's like you go and enter the valley. So you enter the valley and the rest of the world disappears, and then all of a sudden all you see are people in gis and doing karate, and you have no idea why these 40-year-old men who have stable jobs and income. One of them's a millionaire. Daniel's doing all right if he owns a Mercedes. If he owns a Mercedes dealership, his daughter drives an AMG. They're doing all right, but God forbid we've got to stop the evil Cobra Kai. And it makes no sense if you look at it from a 1,000-yard view, but the writing is so sharp. The characters have so much definition and tone to them that you get lost in the absurdity of it all, but in a good way. They even draw outside influence on it. Daniel's wife, the mom, is literally there to like point out the absurdity and be like, I can't believe I'm living through like a karate feud. Yeah. In 21st century America, there's a dojo feud in my town, and it's causing my daughter to get suspended from school, and they're starting blood feuds, and it's ridiculous. And she's there to be the one that both points this out, but also draws you back in, because then she gets involved too with Tori.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Like, for me, I'm like, this show, like, it just got better. I was like, maybe I should skip the first 3 seasons and block out what happened and just watch season 4, because I love season 4 so much. Like, Brett and I, last night, we were watching it all the way to 5 in the morning.
I managed. I've now watched it through twice. Miracle finished it, and I on New Year's Day I watched the whole thing through. I don't binge things almost ever anymore. I'm actually like, a lot of people complain about the Disney model right now, where they release an episode a week. I actually like that.
Yeah,
I like not having to, like, because when I start a new show and I see that it's got 8 or 10 or 12 or 16 new episodes, I just kind of get exhausted. I'm like,
but this show is actually like really interesting
and very bingeable.
Because like we try to watch In the Silent Sea, but it's kind of
so slow.
I think we're gonna drop that series, right?
Possibly. I'm gonna give episode 3 one more go today, and if it gets better,
I'm not gonna watch it because I want to watch Superman and Lois. Like, I watched the first episode.
Get ready for that because that season 2 comes out the 11th.
Okay. I need to watch it, like binge it quickly.
And here's one of the reasons that this is something I was going to bring up, and I'll talk more in Superman and Lois. One of the reasons why Cobra Kai is such a revelation and it's so good is that season 1 of Superman and Lois is fantastic.
Yeah.
But,
oh my God.
But okay. It's when these characters get into season 3 and 4 and they've done the main storylines, that's when you start seeing the horrible woke, really buzzword heavy writing come in, because they're running out of the original idea. The original story they wanted to tell is running out, and they need to change things. So you start seeing that these ideological bends creep into the writing. Right now it's all about Superman. He's raising his family. How am I supposed to take care of my kids and be a husband and be Superman? That's a great story in season 1 and 2, but once you get into season 3 and 4, they're like, where can we go? We got to go talk about the kids, and that's when the characters start becoming nothing like they were in earlier seasons. And
but I think they can do it because, like, spoiler alerts if you haven't watched Superman and Lois, basically, so they have twins. So it's Jonathan Kent and Jordan Kent. So they both have opposite personalities, obviously, because twins. Jonathan is the more cheery one that you see in the comic books today, where he's very energetic. He wants to help anybody.
He's an athlete. He's popular.
An athlete. Yeah, like popular. Like any girl can be wooed by him. And then you have Jordan, which is like, they only did 1 series with him, like in the comic books.
Yeah, it's more of a deep cut.
Yeah,
but he's got social anxiety disorder.
Yes, severe.
Yeah. They do a good job with that. And that if there's one thing that show does really well, they don't portray him as like some type. He's not like. He's not a freak. He's not weird. He's just struggles with social. He's like me in a lot of ways. Like, I struggle the same way with social situations.
For me, I don't feel like I see it because I'm the one who pretty much like talks to you the most.
Yeah. But in general, if there's a large group of people at work, I'm avoiding those situations. I tend to be more private. I tend to spend more time alone. That's just me. But I do get social anxiety around larger groups of people, even when they're people that I'm very close with. And I was on antidepressants when I was younger. I am not on them anymore. I had a lot of those same issues. So his personality resonates with me. More like I see more of Jordan in me than I see of Jonathan way
Yeah.
more.
Well,
Even though I played sports.
well, spoiler alert, it's also about Jordan. He has superpowers.
Yep. So we're getting off topic here,
But yeah,
the
Cobra
point
Kai.
is the point is that Cobra Kai is proof that you can stay with that you can do 4 seasons
Yeah.
and not change the tone of your show or the tone of your writing. You can keep it consistent. I would say that one more thing. I think Robbie works better as kind of a flawed, redeemable bad guy per se. He's on
Yeah.
he's on the outskirts of being an antagonist, but he's not really. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's very hard to define any of these characters as good or bad, right?
Yeah.
If I told you Miguel is the only one who seems like he's 110.5% a good guy.
Yeah,
Every
and-
time something bad happens, he just looks sad that something bad is happening, and like people are fighting. It's like, I don't like that we're fighting. This is like he's the only one who feels like a 100% good guy. Everybody else is shades of gray, and it's handled perfectly.
Yeah, for sure.
If you have not watched Cobra Kai, please do yourself a favor. Go start from season 1. Season 1 is really good. Season 2 is, but 4 it gets better as it goes. So please go watch it.
Yeah, and also the actor for Hawk right now, he's trending.
Yep, there you go. Hawk.
Yeah, and then the actor who plays as Robbie, he's also trending. I'm trying to search up the reason why. For Hawk, it's because there's a scene where like he gets buzz cut.
Yeah, they
basically.
shave his mohawk.
And then like people are also searching up in his real life who he's dating. Oh my god, the guy who plays Robbie's the same age as me.
Makes sense. Looks about right.
So I'm putting in my resume to date you. I'm joking.
What's his name?
Nothing.
No, what's the actor's name?
Tanner.
Okay, Tanner. Well, I'll send him your. Give me his email address. I'll send him your resume.
Well, well, the guy who plays as Miguel looks like my boyfriend, and I'm like, I showed Charlie today. This is me coming back talking about Charlie because Charlie is like my favorite thing in the whole wide world.
You made it like 3 episodes without talking.
I know
About him.
But he looks like Miguel, and I told Charlie today, I was like, you look like this actor. He's like, no, I don't, because like apparently somebody said he looks like Keanu Reeves.
I don't see that.
I don't see that. I was like, I see Miguel. Yeah. It's because he's in the pool and he's like smoldering with his cousin. And I was like, no, honey, you look like Miguel. And I love you either way.
There you have it. There you have it. So basically, go watch Cobra Kai.
Watch Cobra Kai and look at the person who looks like my boyfriend.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.